My name is Tiff and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I originally found Vlogbrothers back in like 2008 on LiveJournal. A friend of a friend of a friend posted a video of Hank talking about how he had the best day of his life, getting a whole bunch of free stuff in one day, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. And it was really awesome, and I really liked it, and I just kept watching them. Like, I fell into this loop, and at the time I think they had maybe 200 videos, maybe less, I'm not sure. It was still very few, less than what they have today. It took like 6 months for me to start getting into like Nerdfighteria, but eventually I started like finding Facebook groups, and I found a group in LA, and I started making friends, and it was just me and 2 other nerdfighters in LA. Like, we're recommending channels to each other and stuff to watch. It was really awesome. Over the course of a year, I started making more and more friends around the world, and we started getting involved in Project for Awesome and doing lots of like just amazing things. I love nerdfighters. I've not met a nerdfighter I don't like. What it means to me to be a nerdfighter is that like nerdfighters genuinely want to make the world a better place, and so it means being the best version of yourself.
I'm Jake. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. My story of how I found Nerdfighteria is quite interesting. I went to college in Pennsylvania, and I had a friend who was reading Looking for Alaska. This is about 2011. I went to a Christian university, and the stereotype is, in Christian universities, you read Christian novella. So I immediately thought that it was a book about some guy who went on a mission trip to Alaska and left it at that. So a couple years later, I'm on YouTube, and I find this channel called Mental Floss with this guy named John Green, who's hosting this video about debunking myths. I love debunking myths, and I love those kind of videos, so I watched it. But you know, how many people in the world are named John Green? So I didn't really make any connections until my senior year of college, when The Fault in Our Stars came out in the movies. I had heard it was a book by a guy named John Green, never made any connection until I went to see the movie, and I heard about it before, and then after seeing the movie, I was like, this is really, really good. And it was only then that I made the connection that this was the John Green who wrote Looking for Alaska, and the same John Green from the Mental Floss video. But I still had not heard of this whole Nerdfighteria thing. So about a year later, I had heard about Paper Towns coming out in the movie. So I bought the book, I read Paper Towns, I fell in love with the book. I remember reading the back, like the meet the author note that was in the back of the book, and it talked about how John was well known for making this channel called Vlogbrothers with his brother Hank. And again, I had heard about it before, but like, what is this? I had never heard this before. I went onto YouTube, and I found the channel Vlogbrothers, and I kid you not, from January to March of 2015, I watched all of their videos, and I had found this wonderful new community, and that's really what I love about the whole Nerdfighteria thing, is this idea of community. When I was in college, they would beat to death this whole idea of how important community was, and it was getting so old that the student body was just tired of hearing it. And when I graduated, I was like, finally, I never have to hear the word community again. But as time went on, 6 months I'm out of college, 8 months I'm out of college, I didn't really have any community anymore, because all my friends, we had gone our separate ways. We had gone back to where we were, we had gone to do our own thing, and I didn't have a community anymore. And then I found this. It was so important to me that I found that. And they really helped me, John and Hank, through Nerdfighteria. They really helped me understand how important community is, regardless of whatever kind of community that it is, whether it's a school community, a church community, this kind of community, and it was new. It was something I had never experienced before, and it's something that I'm so appreciative of now, and I'm so happy to be a part of.